Hello, this video is to help you with your Phonics, Unit 28, Lesson 4. Here are the materials that you will need to have ready for this lesson. You'll need your Phonics Works Reader Basic 8. We're going to use pages 13 through 18. Your lesson guide, pages 747 through 751. Your sight word box, your tile kit, your whiteboard, and a dictation notebook or some kind of paper and writing materials. I'm going to go through the offline activities and give you some examples of each. You'll want to pause this recording and work through all of the examples in the lesson guide. We're going to start first with sight words. Pick a pair. So you will pick 2 sight words at a time. Your student will read those words and then you will give them some clues to help them figure out which word you are describing. So for example, with my words on the board, I have the word see, is. Learning coaches might say, this is a word that is used to describe something that you do with your eyes. And then student would read see. And then you can put that word to the side. Then let's try another pair, me, the. And you could give a clue that this is a word that can be used to describe yourself. And so the student would select me. You will get a pile, students, of those words that you know how to read correctly. And then you can practice either spelling those out loud. So with the word see, you would say see, S-E-E. Or you can practice writing them on a whiteboard or on some paper. Remember to take a picture of those sight words in your mind so that you can remember them. That will really help you when you come to one of those sight words in a book when you're reading, or when you're working in your writing and you need to write one of those sight words. That will help you remember how to spell it. This next offline activity is called Pick Up Letters. Here are the letter tiles that you will need to gather. There are some blends and then some single letters in there. And I'm going to show you an example with some of my letter tiles now. There are some questions to guide you in the lesson guide. So let's see. I'm just going to pull one of these tiles first and we're going to practice with this one. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is we will say what the letters are. TH. Is the tile you chose a digraph that has 2 letters that make one sound? And yes, this one is. We've got 2 letters that make one sound. And that sound is th. What is a word that starts with that sound? How about thorn? And then you're going to create a sentence using that word thorn. The rose had some very prickly thorns. All right, and then let's try one more example with this letter. So I'm going to again go through those same questions. This is the letter R. This one is not a digraph. It's not 2 letters that make one sound. The sound is just one letter that says What is a word that starts with this sound? How about rabbit? And then a sentence using that word would be, the rabbit hopped through the forest. Now your lesson guide doesn't tell you to write your sentence, but for students that are proficient with these phonic sounds and need a little bit of an extension, that would be a good activity to do. You could even just write on a whiteboard or take this lesson outside on a nice day and trace in some dirt in your yard or write with sidewalk chalk. Just pick something fun to do to make it a little bit different and practice that writing. So you can pause the recording now and continue working through the other letter tiles to answer those questions. The next offline activity is called Build Words, and you're again going to need some letter tiles, and they are there on the board for you and of course also included in your lesson guide. We are going to do several different things with these words and sounds. We are going to finger stretch the word. We're going to build it with letter tiles. We're going to identify the sounds in the word, and then we're going to write the word. Alright, so I'm going to show you on my webcam now how we're going to get set up for our first word. You can use your dry erase board or a piece of paper, and we're going to draw 3 lines on this paper. And I'm sure you're familiar with this because we do this activity often in Class Connect. Alright, so the first word we're going to practice with is chuck. Okay, and what we want to do first is finger stretch that word. Ch, k, chuck. Remember how we finger stretch? We put one finger out for each sound and then pull in a fist to make the word. So chuck is ch, k, chuck. Alright, now we're going to build that with letter tiles. Just like we finger stretch, ch, k. Alright, so that first sound is ch, ch, ch. Let's practice building it with letter tiles first, while we identify these sounds. Ch, There's our vowel, short U. K, k. That's another one of those sounds that's got 2 letters that make that sound. Ch, k. Alright? Then you can ask your student what the middle sound is. You can ask them the beginning sound, ch, and then that final sound is k. We've identified the sounds. The last thing you'll do is write the word. So then you can move these. You can do this on 3 lines. If you would like to, that might help them still. Ch, k. This is a good time to practice some handwriting. So if your student maybe turns a letter backwards, which is very typical still at this point in kindergarten, or forgets how to form one of those letters correctly, you can let them write it like this, and then you can model for them the correct way to write the letters and let them practice writing it again one more time correctly. Ch, k. Alright, so make sure you pause this video and practice building words. There's several other examples for you to work from in your lesson guide. The next activity is called Dictation, Write the Word. So you can use a dry erase board again, any writing utensils and paper that you would like to. And I'm going to practice with 2 words for you. So what we're going to do is, students, you'll listen to the word, you'll repeat it, then we'll write it down in our notebook or wherever you're choosing to write today, and then I want you to read that word aloud. So let's look at my webcam again. We've got some paper ready, and the first word I'm going to say to you is dish. Okay, so repeat that word with me, dish. Now we're going to write that word down. Remember, you can finger stretch it just like we did in building words to help us hear all the sounds. D, I, sh. Okay, so I'm going to sound it out. D, I, sh. And of course, learning coaches, you'll want to guide your student and give them some prompts and clues if they need help with any of those sounds. And now we're going to read the word that we wrote, dish. A good extension would be, again, to have your student practice writing and using this in a sentence with correct finger spaces, punctuation, all of the parts of a sentence. Alright, let's try one more. The next word that your guide gives you is quack. And friends, remember quack. Qua. What 2 letters usually make that sound? Qua. If you said Q-U, you're correct. Alright, so let's stretch out quack. Qua. A. K. All right, there's our three sounds. Qu, ah, k. And good job if you remember that the Q and U are often stuck together. Q, U. Qu, ah. You might be thinking just letter C or letter K here, but I'm going to give you a clue. This is one of those digraphs where there's two letters that work together to make a sound. What two letters can make the sound K? And if you said CK, good job, you're correct. Qu, ah, k. Great job writing those dictated words. You can continue, pause this, and practice with the next few words that are included in your lesson guide. Now it's time for you to read from your phonics reader. You're going to use Reader Basic 8 and start on page 13. And our story today is titled Jack. And what I want you to practice with your phonics reader today is reading with expression. This poster right here says expression. Don't sound like a robot and read smoothly. That's what your goal is to try and do. Okay, so that can be tough on the first try for students, especially in kindergarten where we're really working hard to decode these words and recognize sight words. It's very difficult to read with expression. So the best way to get good at this is to reread. That means to read it again. You might read it several times right now, read it once more this afternoon. You could even review this reader again tomorrow. They're super short and easy to reread, and that will really, really help your student with reading with expression. So listen to my voice and see if you can tell the difference. I'm going to read like a robot first. Jack has luck. See how I'm reading word by word and I'm stopping? You couldn't really tell what kind of punctuation. It sounded more like a period, right? There's actually an exclamation point there, so my voice should sound excited. Well, now that I've figured out these words, I can read this again with expression. Jack has luck. See how my voice sounded excited for that exclamation point? Why don't you try working on that today? And read the whole book, figure out all those words, use your illustrations to help you, and then practice rereading. Rereading is very important. There are a couple games in your LLS for you to review the trigraph, ch, and then some of those digraphs. Here on this page you can see the sh in these word examples. So make sure you review those online games when you go in to mark this lesson complete. And that brings us to the end of Phonics Unit 28, Lesson 4. I hope this video was helpful. Please use our kindergarten attendance survey to let us know that you viewed it, and thank you so much for watching.